Hello, beautiful people of the internet. It is me, Serendipity, and today we are here for a reading of what are people saying about you? What are they talking about? Why are they talking about you? So hello, returning Lucky Charms. Hello, if you are new. We are very fun here. So just remember to like the video, comment, and subscribe if you feel comfortable. If this reading helps you, resonates in any way, I really appreciate it. So we have three random piles today. We have this first stone, which I don't know the name of, but it's about emotional healing. This is a green calcite, and this pile number three is a carnelian. And you know what's so funny about the piles? Literally, we have four. Oh, not me moving it. We have 43, 33, and 23 in that order, and I didn't notice until I set everything up. And I'm like, that's so funny that that's the way it came out. But yeah, no more checks really. Just I'm just gonna get started, to be honest. I had to refilm it because I kept yammering, and I think I'm just in a yapping mood. So let me just light the candle, light the incense, and let you guys pick your piles. Sorry, I'm gonna light the candle, light the incense, and let you pick your piles. Oh God. Alrighty. Hello, collective pile number ones. If you guys have picked this stone that is about emotional healing and shadow work, all that good jazz, this is your reading for what are people saying about you. Just a reminder to please like the video, comment, and subscribe if it resonates. And yeah, and hello, Lucky Charms, if you are returning subscriber, because thank you so much. You guys have been very, very supportive lately, and I really appreciate it. Okay. So, your first card is the red squirrel, number 43. It says resourcefulness, vigilance, preparation, and busyness. So, when I pulled this card, all of the cards there are going to be about what are people saying about you. So, every single card is answering the question. So, the squirrel says in the book, if a squirrel has scurried into your life, now is a powerful moment to look at the qualities of your actions and preparedness in your life. Sometimes, in reaction to the pressures of our daily to dos, we find ourselves running around doing a whole bunch of busy activities, but without real empowerment. We do 10 things in a rush and not putting 100% commitment into them. The message of the squirrel is to pause and ask yourself what really needs to be done. Considering the path to your great vision, it may serve you to bring attention to planning and preparing at this time. But in truth, Squirrel also teaches us that the best plans change and unfold in ways that we can never imagine. Sometimes the nuts we stored yesterday may not be in the same spot today, but in our search, we may discover an even better stash. So come prepared, but don't be so hung up on planning. Yes. So sorry, it's because I'm reading it online. So there's literally an ad. Oh my God. But don't be so hung up on planning that you become rigid and unable to respond to the unforeseen shifts in reality. Squirrel medicine advises us not to judge too quickly, or to scatter your energy and take critical analysis. It says, with discipline and focus, I build my plan, honoring the integrity of my vision. With humility and openness, I release the how, trusting the flow of great spirit within. That was a lot. I hope you guys stayed for the whole thing. You did. I think you did. All right. But it says resources, preparation, and busyness. You have been being talked about in a way of you are doing a lot. To be honest, just with this first card, you have been running around, doing a lot, preparing for something. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to change jobs. Maybe you're trying to um, get in a new relationship. Maybe you're just trying to elevate your life. Maybe you're just trying to grow. Maybe you're just trying to overall do some self-care, get a glow up. I don't know what you're trying to do, but right now people are saying that you are a busy buddy. You are a busy, 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 busy buddy. And it's like you're preparing for something. I mean, it was already the winter if you're watching the reading at the time it's coming out, but you're just definitely being seen as someone who is I'm getting when to say the harvesting. So you're really trying to harvesting, is that the right word? Or what's the word? Like, you're gathering things, you're preparing for the winter. That's what I'm like the analogy I'm getting in my head. It's like you're preparing for a storm. You're preparing for the winter. If you live in the United States, I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on. So maybe you're even just preparing for like some type of catastrophic event. Like it feels like doomsday prepping. I don't know. People are definitely talking about the fact that you are very, very busy right now. You're planning for something, you're doing something, you're working on yourself, and you definitely have not been taking a break. You definitely have not been taking a break. You definitely have been just on a go, go, go. And yeah, so and also with the message of the squirrel also teaches us that the best plans can change. You definitely are being seen as a little bit rigid right now, and maybe in a need to definitely work on trusting spirit, work on trusting your intuition more, and not being so rigid, because I think that's just a message for you. But in terms of what people are saying about you, what people are talking about, that you're a busybody, busy buddy right now. Busybody, just working a lot, preparing for something, and preparing for the storm. I keep hearing preparing for the storm. People are talking about how you're preparing for the storm. I don't know what storm that's talking about, but I keep hearing it, like prepare. That's what people are talking about, how you're preparing for something. All right, let's get your archetype cards for what people are saying about you. We have headiness. If you saw this came out the other day too. It says inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. We have monk and nun, selfless devotion to single-minded devotion to spirit, dedication to spirit, sorry. And then it says balance, judge. And then we have the word judge in there too, but it says balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. Okay, so what is this telling me about what people are saying about you? Um, let's start with the headiness. So the headiness is about, again, like indulging in the nice things in life. That means the foods, good art, beauty, sex, you know what I mean? Like, indulging in the good things of life. So people definitely are talking, or like, what are people saying about you? That you are obviously like still looking very good, still like indulging in the things of life, but the first message of your busy is, I'm getting, it's connected. So I'm trying to figure out. So busy, you could be traveling a lot right now. People could talk about like how you have been traveling a lot, how you've been, again, like you're busy, you're moving, you're traveling, you're going. So that could be a message for some of you, that people are talking about how much you have been traveling, how much you have been eating good foods, doing nice things, eating like fine wines, think like I said eating fine, but drinking fine wines, you know what I mean? Like you've been doing like very nice things. Again, you've been on the go. With the judge, it says balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. With the judge, I'm getting, people have been saying, is talking about how I'm hearing the preparedness. That's like your biggest word. People are talking about how you are preparing for something. It doesn't have to be a storm. Maybe it's a test, maybe it's an exam, maybe it's a certification, maybe it's a move, like you're moving houses. But people are definitely just talking about how you're preparing. But the judge, I think, is talking about maybe even like helping other people prepare, because that's not giving me like the nun. So people are talking right now about how you are helping people prepare. You even could be like of a service, like you could work in a line of service, or you volunteer a lot, like you're helping other people prepare you, because that's the judge part. It's like, again, because it talks about like balancing even distribution of power, managing distributions of power. So like yeah, it's like you could even be like the boss of like a nonprofit. I just heard people could talk about how you are like working for a nonprofit, and how you've been working a lot for that nonprofit. It sounds like an event is about to happen. I'm hearing this so like clear. It's like there's an event about to happen, or something. It's like something you are preparing for. It's like something you're preparing for, and you're helping other people, and it's of service. It's a good thing. It's of service. People are talking about how it could have something to do with the monk and the nun, because it's selfless devotion and single-minded devotion to spirit. So you could literally, it could be in a church, like people at church, if you go to church, are talking about you, and they're just talking about how you have been very fair, very good at managing your things. Definitely a busybody, but you still obviously take care of yourself with the headiness. The headiness is telling me that like you've been busy, but you have still been enjoying life. You have been very, very busy, but you've been enjoying life. And that's with the travel message too. So there's a few different messages that came in there, but the overall message for all of pile ones is that with the first oracles is that you have been one very busy, that you have been definitely indulging in life. That could be traveling, eating nicer foods, just taking care of yourself, looking better, looking more luxurious. And that with the judge and the monk and the nun, it's like you've been preparing to do something of service for like an organization, a group, for your own self project. But you've just been helping other people. You've been helping other people and you've been being very fair. A very, very positive energy. But it's something about, I'm hearing like Virgo sixth house. Like that's like, because Virgo rules sixth house. So I'm like Virgo sixth house energy of like devotion, spirit, kindness, helping others, being a busybody, even to the detriment of yourself. So it really definitely does give like a monk and a nun. It's like you do things because you are just dedicated to God, dedicated to whoever your higher power is, your positive higher power job. And yeah, okay, let's get into your tarot. So that was like a long kind of intro for you pile ones. I don't know if I'm going to do that long for the other piles, but here, let me put these up and we can get into your tarot to get some more specifics, get some oh my god. Okay, one second, y'all. My bad, you guys. I like was struggling to put them up. All right, but we have the Hangman. That's interesting. That's like an opposite energy. Oh, we have the Five of Swords. What are people saying about you? We have the Hangman, Five of Swords, Temperance, Five of Wands. We have two fives, and the one in Temperance is 14, which is also a 5. So a lot of change makes sense with the moving. We have Six of Pentacles, the helping, the service, and the Nine of Wands. Okay. So what are people saying about you? So we have the Hangman and the Five of Wands. The Hangman talks about a pause. So the Hangman talks about, like, again, the opposite of what we were saying with the squirrel. It talks about not moving. And then the Five of Wands is definitely more of continuing on. It talks about arguments. It talks about pushing. It can talk about sometimes conflicts. I think people are talking about how you are kind of fighting against fighting against the pause. Why do I say that? Because the Hangman is a pause, but in the Five of Wands, it literally says annoying delays and circumstances beyond your control are asking you to slow down and pay attention to details. Try to keep your impatience in check. Taking on several creative projects or tasks at the same time will lead you to frustration. Not finishing anything. Focus on one thing at a time and see it through to completion before beginning anything new. That is the exact same message as the squirrel card, like the exact same message. So yeah, people are definitely talking about how you have been very, very, very busy. You have been taking on too many, possibly creative with this creative energy. Could be taking on too many creative projects, be taking on too many service. It could be a good thing on service, especially with the Six of Pentacles. But what did I say? I think that the detriment of yourself with this Five of Swords. So yeah, what people are saying about you is that you need to take a break, girl. The people are definitely saying that, like, you need to take a break. You've definitely been a busy, busy, busy buddy. Again, Six of Pentacles, because that talks about like giving and receiving, being generous. So I definitely think that with this Six of Pentacles here, you definitely have been doing it for a good cause. I'm hearing it's a really, really good thing. It's a really, really good cause. You're not doing it from a place of like trying to get money or trying to build your wealth, or like, you could even make money from what you're doing, but like it's something about it's a detriment to your well-being with this Five of Swords. And again, there's annoying delays. It's kind of like the universe has been trying to put delays in your life and you avoid them. It's like you're not listening to the messages, the physical messages that the universe is trying to give you of, hey girl, slow down, there's too many things going on. Yes, enjoy the setbacks. Maybe we should take a break right now, take a pause. Your life's not moving forward for a reason. You're doing all these projects, you're helping all these people, but you are becoming too burdened. You're getting yourself out of balance. Yeah, it's like it feels like you are causing yourself to be imbalanced, causing yourself to possibly forget things, not finish projects. I heard not even finish the project that you start, which could obviously be very, very good project, again, with the headiness. But you want to finish them. You want it to be in balance. And I feel like there is definitely a lack of balance here. And we did have the Judge, which literally talks about balancing justice or like balancing the scales. It also gives me like a Libra energy. So I think people are talking about just how like you could be a little bit out of balance because you've been taking on so many different tasks. Yeah, you could be out of balance because you've been taking on a lot of different tasks, a lot of different like opportunities. And the Five of Swords says loss, but the keywords are also like conflict and arguments. That's what I was feeling before, like something about like in arguments. I'm trying to think. Even like you could have like went off at somebody, I just heard. So like people talking about you, especially if you like recently went off at someone. That could be like your anger getting, because you're just, you're really stressed out. Your anger could have got the best of you for some reason, and like it affected your well-being. So yeah, this gives me like an like you could have just feeling anxious, anger, out of balance. Yeah. Temperance. We have the temperance and oh my god, preparation. Your word. Look at your word coming out, girl. Yes, look at your word. But anyways, we have temperance and Nine of Wands. So the temperance is about, again, patience. Literally, the temperance is about patience. The temperance is about kind of divine inner knowing, meditation, I would say. And the Nine of Wands talks about, again, like kind of not giving up before the end of the finish line. But I think the message here and slash what people are saying about you is taking a break doesn't mean you're dropping all of your wands. Doesn't mean that all the work that you put in didn't count, because we have patience here. You're going to reach whatever goal or whatever service project you are doing, whatever you are preparing for the storm, or whatever project you're trying to finish, or whatever move you're trying to make. Slowing down isn't going to ruin it. And I think that's the message. Patience, temperance, the Nine of Wands. Yes, you're in a preparation phase. This message, like, or the people talking about you, they're not saying that you're doing the wrong thing necessarily. And intuitively, psychically, I don't feel like you're doing anything wrong, but you're moving too fast. You're moving way too fast. And from your squirrel card, I actually want to look back at the squirrel card, child. Let me go back. And from the squirrel card, what was I saying? Here, what does it say? Let me look at it. 1 second. It says, da, 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 da. Sometimes in reaction to the pressures of our daily lives, we find ourselves running around doing a whole bunch of activity, but without real empowerment in our actions. We do 10 things in a rush to get them done instead of doing the 2 on the list that matter the most and doing them with 100% commitment. It says, yes, the measure of the squirrel is to pause and ask yourself what really needs to be done to make the most impact and leave yourself feeling fulfilled, not scattered and fatigued. At the end of the day, what is one thing I can do today that, if done the very best to my ability, will make the most difference to myself and others? Work hard, but balance times of focus with genuine play and rejuvenation. Even the squirrel takes a midday nap. Okay. So you need to take a midday nap, girl. You need to take a nap. You need to calm down. I'm telling you, you need to calm down. Oh, we have the priest. Oh yeah, we have the priest with the monk and the nun. Yes. So that's another thing. Oops, Seven of Swords. Yeah. Queen of Wands. Okay. Priest, which is the Hierophant. And this is so funny because you have the monk, the nun, and the Hierophant. So people would also be talking about how you are very spiritually elevated. I just heard that. That's like a second message of people are talking about, what are people saying? Like how you are definitely of a spiritual, like you're spiritually elevating. The Hierophant can also talk about teaching, mentorship, traditional values, just traditional things. Coming over the Hangman and the Five of Wands, which was definitely talking about like needing of a pause. I think there's a need as well for you to go back to the basics. I go back to like school, but maybe not necessarily physical school unless that message does resonate with you, depending on what your project or whatever you're doing. I heard whatever you're doing, Power Ones. There is definitely a need, this pause of going back to the basics, going back to school, going back to teaching, learning more about what you're doing. I think that's why you're pausing. People are talking about it. People are talking about like, yes, what you're doing is good, but you need more training. You need more schooling. You need to be taught. You cannot just jump right into something again, because that's why you're doing so many things. You need to do one thing at a time and do it to the best of your ability. And in order to do it to the best of your ability, you need to learn how to do it properly. I think people are really talking about that. People are really talking about like how like there's definitely a need for Like you're on the right path. I heard you are on the right path. Whatever you're doing is the right thing. It's just being done incorrectly with the Seven of Swords. With the Seven of Swords coming over that Five of Swords and Six of Pentacles. I told you that Five of Swords was talking about you could have possibly like popped off at someone. You've been feeling angry yourself, or you've been having conflicts at work or with friends or with, I don't even know. And with the Seven of Swords, because there is some deception, there is some confusion. I don't necessarily think it's self-deception. I don't think you're lying to yourself. I do think the people talking about you definitely don't tell you these things. I would say that with the Seven of Swords here, like the people talking about you, the people saying these things, they would not tell you it to your face. They would just wouldn't. They wouldn't tell you like, hey girl, maybe you should like not do that. Maybe you should like go to the park, or maybe you should go to the movies with us, or take a break, whatever. And they're not, these people feel like they're not going to tell you that. And that could also be why there were some arguments with that Five of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. That means like out of balance. I'm hearing out of balance. It could be like an unequal give and take. An unequal give and take. It's like you're giving way more than you're getting back. You're getting way more than you're giving back. So yeah, you're giving way more than you actually are getting in return. And I think that's another reason the universe is trying to emphasize this pause, emphasize this, like, take a step back, pick one or two things to do, pick one thing to do today and finish that. Don't do everything at once. It's too much. The Queen of Wands coming over, the Temperance, and the Nine of Wands, in terms of what people are saying about you. Yeah, I mean, they are saying, because the Queen of Wands is someone who definitely won't give up. So the Queen of Wands is a very confident, a very sure, like you cannot tell her nothing type of energy. Like you can't tell her anything. And that's the energy you're kind of in. You're in a Queen of Wands energy. It does feel intuitively like a reverse Queen of Wands. I'm going to look up the reverse Queen of Wands, because intuitively it feels like a reverse Queen of Wands because of the energy surrounding it. When you read tarot, you have to, yes, read the tarot, but like I also have to go intuitively, and it really feels like a reverse Queen of Wands. It just feels like the energy of it. And it talks about like feeling unworthy and creative blocks. It says can indicate doubting your worthiness or feeling as others do not recognize these qualities within you. Once you begin to cultivate this belief in yourself, you'll start to shift your confidence. It says others recognize and transform this approach of admiration. So definitely the feeling of like you don't have the recognition, especially as I was saying before, like the Seven of Swords, like people definitely, I think, don't give you enough credit for what you do, because it feels like these people definitely talk, I would say, behind your back. Pile one, I'm sorry, these people definitely feel like they talk behind your back. So it's like they know you are this Queen of Wands, but you may not know you're this Queen of Wands. And that can in turn make you feel imbalanced. And that's why you're working so hard. Does that make sense? It's like, because you have not gotten the recognition for all the hard work you've done, even though clearly people around you can see you've been doing a lot of work and have been talking about how you do a lot of work, they don't tell you. With the Seven of Swords, could cause some arguments, could cause some like equal and that could cause the arguments, that could cause you just giving, putting yourself out of balance. And it's like, but it's weird because like these people are also are like kind of saying a very, very positive things, but like it's like positive and negative. The people talking about you are not your friends. I can tell you that right now. The people talking about you, because the way the messages are coming out, it doesn't feel like constructive criticism. We all have friends. We all have our flaws. We may talk about like some of our close friends, but you don't talk about a true friend in this type of way. You know what I mean? Like when you discuss like friends and doing constructive criticism, you come into a place of like love, of compassion. The fact that Seven of Swords is here, it's like they're not even telling you these things. So I'm like, if these people were truly your friends, the people talking about you or coworkers or whatever, they would tell you, girl, take a break. Like this, they would literally, the people who are your true friends in this time period, if anyone tells you like, hey, I think you're doing too much, that's a true friend. The people who don't tell you, girl, cut them off. But anyways, not the Seven of Pentacles, and it literally says delay. Like the Seven of Pentacles usually talks about like patience, but the fact it's this deck and it says delay, girl, you are being delayed. And a new beginning with the Fool. So yeah, as I said before, people are talking about how you are being delayed, you are being stopped, you are being paused. What's it called? And you should be. If you're not, you should be. And I think even if you hear this message of like, girl, take a break, you may not even, I'm even hearing it truly like, girl, you're going to listen to this message mainly for just to see the friends and the foes, and you're going to keep going. I'm literally hearing a lot of pile ones that you're going to hear this message and be like, okay, thank you, girl. I'm still going to keep working, but thanks for the letting me know who to cut out of my life. Like that's how I feel you're coming into this reading. But it's is what it is, girl. But the Seven of Pentacles and the Fool is telling me that people have definitely been saying that like there is definitely a need for you to call in some patience into your life. The Fool's like you definitely are starting a new chapter. Very again, creativity keeps coming out. I think you are very, very creative. I think whatever you are creating is a very positive, good thing, girl, for service. Yes, girl, do it for the world. We need some happiness. But the Fool also tells me you are just young. You're young, even if you're not like age-wise young. You're possibly young in whatever you're trying to do. And the Fool, even though it's a new beginning, it can sometimes be a naive character. So the people saying what the people are saying is that definitely you're a little naive right now. I can say that. The people talking about you are saying that you could be a little naive, jumping into something you don't necessarily know about, and just a need to slow down. And then your last card, we have the Five of Cups. And the bottom deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, Prudence. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups as your last card. So that is telling me, that talks about like a grief, a sadness. I don't necessarily know if you necessarily went through something hard. You could have pile one because of the fact there were so many messages about like a pause, a delay, a needing us to slow down, to rebalance, to stop working so much. You could have had like something that caused you a lot of sadness. Someone could have walked away from you. Someone could have broke up with you. You could have lost the job. Maybe that's why you're working so hard to get another job. Or working so hard to get this creative project or this service activity off the ground. But this Five of Cups is telling me people are definitely talking about how you could be feeling that sadness, that some regret for pushing so hard. And your bottom deck being the Nine of Pentacles is telling me that it's the same message of, because it talks about independence, like reaping the fruits of your labor. You've worked for what you have. So yeah, it's a weird energy, I would say, for the people. What people are saying about you, it's a really weird energy of like, this person's a really hard worker. This person has great ideas. This person has a devotion to spirit. Very creative, very nice. But they are just doing too much. It's like they're just, this pile number ones is just doing too much. And possibly that could be why you are sad right now. That could be just why you're sad right now, why you're feeling anxious. Possibly, again, if you lost a job or if you did anything. Yeah, I just honestly, I'm gonna stop the reading there. I don't like people talking about you, Power One. Like, I really do not like this energy at all. Like, my protection instance is burning. I literally may burn another one. I usually only burn one per reading, and just when it goes out, it goes out. But I may burn another one out. Like, the people talking about you are just not your friends. So I'm trying to deliver the message in the nicest way I can, but the way it's coming out is very judgy. It's very judgmental with the judge, literally. It's a very judgmental energy, and I don't like that personally. That's not how I approach human relationships. I don't know, like that's not just how I approach people, or how when I like we say like judge or think about other people. That's just not how I like to do it. So Bottom ones, my advice for you is if you know who these people are, which I mean, some of you guys will, girl, cut them freaking out of your life, girl, because they have really gossipy energy. This is technically like a gossip reading, but like, I don't. That's why we got the protection incense, we got the Archangel Michael candle, girl. Can't do that in this house. Okay, anyways, have a blessed and beautiful, high vibrational day, collective pile ones, and I'll see you guys in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hello, collectors. Pile number twos. If you guys have picked this green calcite, this is your reading for what are people saying about you. So, just remember to please like the video, comment, and subscribe if it resonates. I really appreciate it. And let's get started into your reading. So, your first card is number 33, Gecko. It says synchronicity, optimism, truth, and mobility. So I'm going to I have the book online. So I'm not going to read the whole card because they're kind of long, but I'm going to read some of it just to get some more information about what are people saying about you. So it says, Bum, bum, bum. When the gecko preaches in your presence, this is an auspicious moment indeed. Smile and expect good things, the best things. How would you move forward from this moment if you knew you were blessed? If you knew in your heart of hearts that whatever you committed to would be triumphantly succeed? Sometimes we have unique thoughts and special ideas. Sometimes inspiration comes in the blink of an eye. As we drive down the road, walk in the trees, or stand in a shower, sometimes an idea may come that seems unrealistic or slightly beyond normal rationale, but it feels somehow exciting, expansive, and exclusive. It says the message of the gecko is to trust in the magic of inspired moments as doorways to future reality. Don't let critical thoughts cloud your perception of the miracles that may be ready to unfold within you now. Many of the best things in our life were created in ways that we could not have previously imagined. Similarly, much that waits to greet us on our path ahead may unfold in ways beyond our current understanding. Um, if the impulse stirs energy in your belly, allows to breathe full air. It says it's hard to comprehend, but there really are no limits to the blessings that life can unfold for you. Within every moment, every decision, every action, every journey, there's a great opportunity to choose a path of positivity and light. Gecko guides you there by simply asking what feels the most light in this moment, what feels the most exciting, what makes your heart smile. And the little declaration is I open myself to the magic of this moment. I listen to the call of light. I trust in the inspiration that flows to me now and allow to follow it. Oh my gosh, the people talking about you are so nice because this is the card. This could be an advice card for you, just like reading it. So that advice resonated with you. Congrats. But I'm getting in terms of what people are saying about you. You are a very positive light being. It feels like when you enter people's lives, they literally feel inspired, to say the least. The people when you enter their lives, the people talking about you, they feel optimistic. They kind of feel like it's a certain synchronistic or serendipitous like meeting encounter. Yeah, like the people that are talking about you, what they say about you is that you're a really sweet person. Also, it's number 33, so you could be a life path 33. If you didn't know, the life path 33 is the highest life path. That means you have gone through all life paths 1 through 9 and the other two master numbers of 11 and 22. So yeah, very, very wise. You're definitely seen as a very wise person, a very synchronistic person. Very, very positive, inspiring people to reach their highest potential. You're definitely seen as that type of person. Because what else did it say? No, not it. Oh my god, sorry, because the book is online. It has ads, so it's annoying. But anyways, it says, yeah, it says like, what if you knew his heart you could truly succeed? We have special thoughts and ideas. Yeah, like you are seen as a person with great ideas, great inspiration, but also helping other people. People are talking about like how like you are just kind of seem like ethereal, out of this world, not from this world. Yeah, people definitely say that you just are seen as like someone who's not from this world, out of this world. Yeah. So let's get your cards also because I know some of these other cards too. So this makes sense now after reading the gecko. It says angel, helping those in need with no expectation of return. Storyteller, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. And we have monk and nun, selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. Girl, you literally have angel and the monk and the nun. And then you have storyteller, which is like, I practice African spirituality. So storyteller is a griot. I always forget the T is silent. I forget. But so this tells me you are seen as a wise old soul, especially with 33, angel, monk, nun, storyteller. Girl, people are talking about how you, and it's literally 33 on the clock. Yes, you are seen as a creative soul, a wise soul, a psychic, a medium. You are seen as an oracle, what's it called? A shaman. You're being talked about in a way of like you are an angel. You are literally, I don't know if I necessarily believe in those what do they call them, star seeds. I don't even know if I necessarily believe in that, but if they do exist, yeah, you would be one of those. If they do exist, you would definitely be talked about as like, oh, she's a star seed. She's or he, she or he's a star seed. Yeah. Yeah, so like you're definitely being talked about as like you're just a sweet, sweet soul, sweet person, very, very spiritually elevated, heavily, heavily, heavily spiritually elevated. Heavily spiritually elevated, heavily just connected to your intuition. The storyteller is giving me you also are being talked about in this way, like your words. Because with the threes, I'm thinking of like third house themes. That's Gemini, Mercury energy. So it's like you could be a great public speaker. People are talking about how you have a great public speaking voice. You could be a great writer. You could be great at just creation, inspired ideas. Um, so people are definitely just talking about how honestly good of a person you are, how you help others in need. You could be a teacher, you could work at hospitals, working as a nurse, you could just volunteer, you could work with kids on the spectrum, you could work with just you just work with the good aspects of life. I would say you work with the good aspects of life, and people are just talking about how you really inspire them. I'm hearing like inspire other people to reach their full potential. You could be even just like a counselor, a therapist, a psychologist, someone who just helps people, a life coach. There you go. You could be definitely a lot of life coaches in this. You're definitely seen as just like that type of person. What's it called? I wouldn't say they're my mentors because I don't know them personally, but the people that I follow Queen Poe a lot. I'm literally so on her Patreon too. Queen Poe. A new person I'm following is Yeye. That is actually I think her one of her mentors. So yeah, you're just definitely seen as like maybe like one of those type of people. Like again, you could be on the internet and just share videos. With information on spiritual topics, or it could be just life topics, psychology, just you're overall just here to help. You're just here to help the world for a positive thing, and you have good ideas and you inspire other people to reach their fullest potential. But here, let's get into your tarot. I'm excited. This is a much better energy. The pile one. No, let me not shade pile one. But like, yeah. Anyways, so we have Queen of Swords. No, what is that? Queen of Swords. But no, you could just be a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. But we have Queen of Swords. We have Emperor. Nice. We have King of Pentacles. Aw. We have King of Pentacles. We have the Page of Page of Wands, Six of Swords, and the reversed Nine of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So we have the Queen of Swords with the Page of Wands. I was saying like you're seen as a very, very positive, very, very kind soul. We do have the Queen of Swords, and that's why I was like, interesting. Because the Queen of Swords is definitely like she's very, very smart. She's very, very cool, but she's definitely a cold energy. You know what I mean? You can't get close to her. So it definitely kind of gives me, I'm looking at the nun, maybe just because of the blues. But I'm looking at the Queen of Swords in relation to the monk and the nun. Monks, I'm thinking of how they're walking across the United States right now for peace. How in their culture, I learned from funny enough another tarot reader that you are they're not supposed to ask you for food. You just need to give it to them. Because I don't know, monks and nuns, they usually have very stoic faces. They're very just like to themselves, focused. So this Queen of Swords is giving me that people definitely can tell that you're very focused on whatever you're doing. You are very nice, but you may not be the most approachable person, if that makes sense. Because the Page of Wands is telling me it's like underneath, because it's literally underneath the butt. It's like you present as a Queen of Swords, but as soon as they get to know you, you're like a Page of Wands. You're youthful, you're fun, you're nice, you're playful. But you definitely, I think, present as a Queen of Swords. I mean, people definitely talk about it's like because I'm laughing because it kind of feels like a joke. It's like people definitely can like kind of see it as like it's funny because like you look mean. You definitely look mean. People definitely talk about how you look mean, but you're not at all. It's like you kind of look mean, but you're not. So people are talking about that. People are talking about the Emperor and the Six of Swords. That's Six of Swords talks about like leaving a situation, transitioning. Could be talking about travel. The Emperor is about like personal power, like standing in your personal power, like a healthy divine masculine energy. I'm thinking people can also be talking about maybe how you have a good personal power. And it doesn't feel like you've moved or anything. I mean, maybe some of you guys, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels just more talking about what are people saying about you? What are people saying? Possibly that you've done all it feels like you've conquered life. Like, if that makes sense, like you've already accomplished a lot. You've already kind of accomplished a lot. That's what I'm talking about, like a wise old soul, like a wise old soul. It feels like you've already accomplished a lot. And Six of Swords, like, you're ready to move on to the next chapter. I mean, people are really talking about how, like, okay, like they see you kind of doing differently, like doing more, doing something different. Possibly like even leaving a workspace. It really feels like a work environment of people talking about you, but it could be anything. It could be work environment, could be friends, could just be strangers, but it definitely feels like it's like you're ready to move on. It feels like when I was working at this pizza place, if you are in the East Coast area, if you're in the East Coast, you may have heard of this place called Jules. I used to work at that pizza place, and at some point, like, the customers, they were like, I worked there for a couple of years, and they were just like, oh, like, what are you doing next? It was like a little tea of like, okay, girl, get out of here. We like you, but like, it's time to move on. And that's the energy of like, I think it's time for you to level up. I think it's time for you to level up. I think it's time for you to like move on to a new environment, because it feels like you've already mastered whatever environment you are currently in. Again, that could be a home. It could just be as simple as like, maybe you have an apartment, but it's like, it's now time to get that house. Or you've completed school, and you're thinking about going to a PhD, or you've already gotten the PhD, and they're like, okay, girl, you're here, you gotta move on, you gotta level up, you gotta move on. But it's in a positive way. It's really, really positive. It's more just like, okay, this person has already accomplished what they need to do here. So next we have the King of Pentacles and the reversed Nine of Cups. So let's see the reversed Nine of Cups keywords, because I forget. I kind of know, but like, just in case, you know what I mean? But it says the reverse Nine of Cups, overindulgence and arrogance. So since may can reveal arrogance surrounding achievements and needing constant validation and recognition. It can also point to overindulging in life's pleasures and needing to implement some moderation. I don't think that's you. But it says when you consider the abundance of life, celebrate it by expressing gratitude and generosity. I think with the arrogance of surrounding achievements and needing constant validation, I could see that for you. I could see people saying that. Especially with that King of Pentacles over top of it. So the King of Pentacles is a very successful king. It's a very successful king, monetarily, very mature, very stable. But it definitely gives me that Capricorn, because the King of Pentacles would be Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but heavy Capricorns, I would feel, of the energy of like, you have cultivated a lot of success for yourself. So maybe you do, because again, you are such a very high vibrational character, maybe you do kind of like a little I say Leo-esque attention. So maybe you're a Leo, but maybe like a little bit more, again, validation from people. So people can maybe talk about how you like attention. I heard how you like attention. It doesn't feel super negative though. This really feels like the people talking about you, or who's talking about you, it's like friends. It's like friends just yabbering. But it's like, this is nothing they wouldn't tell you to your face. Like everything I'm saying right now, like the people talking about you would say it to your face. It's not like a malicious energy or anything. But yeah, definitely talking about maybe possibly how you could be not full of yourself, but just like needing some validation, or like maybe your love language is words of affirmation, and they're just talking about how you do enjoy words of affirmation. So we're gonna go into your next cards. We have the Magician. Fun. Oh, nice. Oh my god. But we have the Star. We have the Star. We have the Magician. We have the Star. We have the Five of Wands. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. But anyways, so we have the Magician over the Queen of Swords and the Page of Wands. Yeah. Again, you are a much nicer character than you come off initially. The Magician can talk about manifestation, using what you have. Also that you're very intelligent. You're very resourceful, very intelligent. People are talking about how you are very resourceful. You're very intelligent. You're very good at manifesting. You're very good at manifesting for yourself. I know I had a lot of like spiritual messages at the beginning, but yeah, definitely very good at manifesting, very good at creating your reality, really good at what's it called? Because like, it's coming over that Queen of Swords and Page of Wands, which was talking more about like facial features. I'm thinking like facial features. So with the Magician over that, You could also kind of come off as spiritual. I'm getting that too. Yeah. People could be talking about like how maybe your style, the way you come off, not maybe like a literal magician, you know what I mean? But like just a little bit more like, you may wear a crystal bracelet, you may wear some crystal earrings. You may have a tattoo of something, or you may, or what's it called, or like certain things, or like the way you do your makeup, or it's something like that. Like you do kind of give off a little bit of a spiritual vibe, and people are just, I would say, talking about how that, I think it's I think they like it. I think they like the spiritual vibe, and coming over that Queen of Swords, I think the more you kind of tap into maybe that kind of vibe, or that like lighter hearted, it cools off your Queen of Swords. It cools off your Queen of Swords face or mentality. Anyways, we have the star over the Emperor and the Six of Swords. What are people saying about you? Yeah, because the star can talk about healing from past situations over that Six of Swords. Yeah, and it also can talk about, again, a wish fulfillment, and the star can also be talking about like, again, like shining, recognition, fame. I'm not just saying fame for you, but coming over that Emperor and Six of Swords, yeah, it's telling me, yeah, like you could be in a place of healing. You could be in a place of healing and of transition, of like, yeah, with the Six Swords, you could be in a place of healing and transitioning, so you can move into what was I going to say? So you can move into a more aligned environment. I'm hearing a more aligned environment. There's something about the people talking about this is talking about like you've really outgrown the environment you're currently in with the star, because it's like you're shining too bright for the environment you're currently in. It's like God, or spirit, whatever you believe in, has more for you, and it's just time, and it's just about that time where it's time to go. And your Gecko card was talking about inspiration. You could have even had some divine inspiration. You could have had a dream last night, or you could have a dream recently, or just had some like really nudges, like go. You could have even had some nudges of like, okay, like I'm maybe I should do this new project. Maybe I should start applying for new jobs. Maybe I should update my resume. Something like that. Like there's something about, people are talking about how you have healed from your past, and you're really ready to move on. You're really ready to move on to the next chapter of your life. And then we have the Five of Wands. We have the Five of Wands coming over that King of Pentacles in reverse, Nine of Cups. So the Five of Wands can talk about like competition and rivalry. It can also talk about, this is like annoying delays and circumstances beyond your control are asking you to slow down and pay attention to details. Try to keep your impatience in mind. Taking on several creative projects at once will lead you to frustration, to not finishing anything. Focus on one thing at a time and see it through to completion before starting anything new. I'm trying to think, because competition, because this was talking about, as I was saying, like you could like words of affirmation, overindulgence. I'm also getting, because I'm like, doing too much. It doesn't feel like you're doing too much. You actually feel very balanced in that sense. But the impatience part, that I could see. Okay, this, I think people are talking about how you may be slightly impatient. Even the King of Pentacles himself is patient. What is this saying? Because I'm like, there's a specific message trying to come out. So give me a minute. What is it? Okay, I got it. So the King of Pentacles can talk about, again, like, because it's the need of feeling more generous with your resources, like funding causes based on passions, or like spending, again, like helping people in need, or spending time with people in need. And with the Nine of Cups talking about arrogance surrounding achievements and needing constant validation and stuff. And the Five of Wands being competition and impatience. You could be like spending money on people. It's like you could be, how do I say this? Not spending money on people, but like trying to buy people's approval. There you go. Trying to buy people's approval. You could be trying to buy people's approval to possibly seem not rich, but like seem more stable than you possibly are. And it's not that you're not stable, because this is telling me you are stable, but like you could be doing things to, again, wanting attention. You want the praise. You do like, I think pile number 2 is, I do think you like words of affirmation. I do think you like being recognized. Whether you know it or not, or at least the people talking about you, that's how they feel about you, that you do like recognition, you like to feel. So it's like they could be talking about how you could possibly spend money or like hang around certain crowds that what's it called, that will give you that validation, that should make you feel good, that will make you feel good. So I would say that's the only like sort of quote unquote negative thing I'm seeing that people are saying, is that possibly it's like you could do certain things to kind of really big up your ego. Just definitely just really big up your ego. And the impatience part that I think this 501 is talking about, like being impatient, it's not really about project and doing things. It's kind of like impatience with like a legacy, like a family legacy. That's like a Capricorn energy, because like you want to get that money, you want to get that stability, you want to be concrete with your business, you want to be with your finances. That's a very Capricorn energy. And you could have some Leo placements. You could have like a lot of Capricorn and Leo placements. So it's like you want like recognition, you want to shine, but you also have a very like old soul. So like, you don't necessarily really care about the material world. I'm hearing pile twos. You don't necessarily care about the material world like that. But there's like a little, like, I say like inner conflict in you. There's like a little inner conflict in you of like, you want to be recognized for the efforts and the things you've done in the world by like friends or groups, but you also don't necessarily care about those things. It's more just like you just care more about the connection of people, the helping of people. You more care about the like just knowing that you yourself are doing the right thing. Very like, it's like you just want to make sure that you are delivering messages correctly. If you are with the storyteller, again, being able to experience and express life through stories and symbols, you just want to just make sure you're doing the right thing. And you just want to make sure you're helping people and making people feel good, which is why I was like, oh, you could, be giving money to people, paying for drinks or dinners and stuff, because maybe that's the way that you feel that you can show not only like the success in yourself, but to show that like you want to, that you made it, you're good, you don't need help, you want to help others, even though, you could use a mentor, you never know. Then we have the Ace of Cups and we have the Hangman. Okay, well, coming over that, but yeah, okay, let's start with the Hangman actually. So coming over this, when it was talking about like doing too many things, needing for a pause. So I think this is telling me that like people are just saying like, let's say you haven't necessarily gotten the house or gotten, again, people are definitely talking about how you need to definitely start taking some new opportunities and moving on. But with the Hangman, it's like people are definitely talking about how you are currently. This is the current energy. Yeah, present tense, current energy of possibly a pause. Maybe nothing's happening in your life. Maybe everything's like, I'm hearing like normal everyday, the normal everyday life, like the normal everyday life. Like that's kind of the life you're living right now. And it's coming over that message of like doing too much and like needing to slow down, needing for a pause. So I would say the only thing people are kind of saying that I would say is slightly like a warning is that like don't overcompensate for areas you feel you lack in. Because I don't even think you lack in them. I think it's more of a Virgo self-criticism type of thing. But I think it's like, don't self-criticize yourself too much. Do not over-criticize yourself. The Queen of Swords can actually do that sometimes too, like just being too self-critical. So don't be too self-critical of yourself to the point where you're just like, oh, I'm not doing enough, nothing's moving in my life, I feel this transition, I feel like I should be elevating, I feel like I should be leveling up, but no opportunities have come in. But we have the Ace of Cups, which means that's new opportunities for emotional fulfillment. That could be in love and relationships, it could be in career, it could be in anything. But the Ace of Cups is saying that people are seeing that like new opportunities will come. You just have to be patient. New opportunities will come. New things will come. That transition, that point where you are going to move up in your life, move out of your current environment will come. The opportunity will happen, but you just need a little pause right now. And then last card we have, what did I just say? Divine timing. I was like, that opportunity will come. And girl, with the Four of Pentacles, but the last card being the Wheel of Fortune. It's telling me again the energy of how I said before. People definitely talk about how you are very, very like synchronicitous. You are very like a synchronistic character, divine timing, and how we were just talking about how like you may have an opportunity to move that will happen in divine timing. So with these being your last cards, I really feel that people are saying right now that you are in a point of just trusting in God, like trusting in divine intuition. And again, the Wheel of Fortune is divine timing. You can't control it. You can't speed it up. You can't slow it down. It's just going to happen when it happens. So that's the impatience. The only thing I'm feeling is like you're slightly impatient about your status in life, where you are in life. But girl, don't be impatient. Don't be self-critical. Don't be impatient. You are being paused right now with this hangman purposely by the divine. For because you're going to get a divine opportunity with Ace of Cups, something that is emotionally fulfilling, something that is going to bring a lot of love. It's an opportunity, so it is something that you have to take, which I think you will with his Emperor and the star, because you have healed from whatever past, just from things from the past. You've healed from them. You've moved on. Six of Swords. You've moved on from these things. So it's clearing up space. It's clearing up space for new things to enter your life. This Four of Pentacles being on the bottom deck, it's like you could be possibly holding on to this previous chapter that you were previously in, like holding on to either people, habits, things, and just saying, maybe that's the pause. They're giving you a little extra time to let it go. It's like they're giving you a little bit of extra time to just really sweep the dust out the door. Give you a extra time to sweep the dust out the door. And then I think new opportunities and new things will come to you. And what are people saying about you? They can see this. They can see that they're just like, oh, this person is protected. This person is divinely guided. This person's divinely guided. This person's divinely protected. Whatever they're going to do in life, they're going to do it well. And yeah. Is there anything else? No. All right, collective how to's. Have a blessed and beautiful high vibrational day. I really do hope this resonated. Remember to like the video, comment and subscribe if it resonated. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so have a blessed and beautiful high vibrational day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Okay, hello collective, pile number 3s. If you guys have picked this carnelian crystal, this is your reading for what are people saying about you. So hello if you're a returning subscriber, hello if you are new. Just a reminder to please like the video, comment and subscribe if the reading resonates. I really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and get started with your reading. So your first card is the Albatross. It says faith, endurance, journey, and hope. So here, let's read the card. Sorry, I should have scrolled to it before I clicked play. Not play, but before I clicked record, and I didn't. So here we go. Okay, I found it. All right. So Albatross says, and it is online. So if an ad pops up, I'll just have to wait. All right. So it says guide you upon the breeze, bringing renewed hope and the promise of good fortune for the path ahead. It takes courage to set out on a journey of any kind, and Albatross knows that sometimes we must travel far beyond the shores of our comfort zone before we catch a glimpse of an aspired destination. When the nights are long and dark, the wind appears to push against your passage. It can be easy to question the calling that brought you to this path in the first place. It is in these times when our doubt is most justified, that we are called to keep our faith and courage alive and honor ourselves for the sacred nature of the journey. The message is to look beyond the wave of your current circumstances and smile at the light that is emerging on the horizon. If your current life is stretching you to new horizons inside yourself or in the world, it comes to encourage you to make that leap and trust yourself in the secret winds that guide you. There's no need to flap your wings and fight against the storm. Breathe deep instead of rise above. You were destined for this great journey. You are wiser than you know, and you are honored by the spirit of the sky. There is no hurry. There is no pressure. There is no wrong way to go. Trust with courage your deeper calling. Embrace the vistas of the new day before you, and know that your path is unfolding in just the right way. The journey will take as long as it takes, and when you arrive to the distant shores of who you are becoming, you will recognize the magic of perfection of each and every moment, sunrise, raindrop, and the breath along the way. The declaration is, I trust the calling of my spirit and soar beyond what once seemed possible. My life is a great and epic journey. I am faith in motion, period. Okay. Collective pile 3s, I hope you liked your little message there. So this is telling me in terms of what are people saying about you. They're definitely saying like you have embarked on a new journey. I would say you've definitely embarked on something new. You could have enrolled in school recently. You could have moved countries as I do. You could have moved cities. You could just be starting something new. You could be changing careers, I'm thinking people are definitely talking about how you are just doing something new. I wouldn't be surprised if the fool comes out. Just doing something new, embarking on a new journey, and really trusting yourself. And again, it did have a message of like, if there are some hangups and stuff, to not let it falter you, to again have the courage. What it says is, yeah, when the nights are long and dark, when the wind appears to push against your passions, it can be easy to question the calling that brought you here in the first place. And these times, when our doubts, that we are called to keep our faith and courage alive and honor the sacred journey. It's like, yeah, like you could have even chosen like something that like seems really difficult, something that seems hard, something that seems like not a lot of people would really want to. And I'm hearing like want to like call that into their lives, or like call that kind of stress or that energy into their life. But it's not because it's a bad thing, because maybe it's just, it's hard, maybe there's a lot of logistics, paperwork, I don't know, things like that could be um haltering you. But yeah, people are just talking about how you are embarking on something new, a new journey, a new life path, and that also you're following your calling. It feels more aligned with you. Whatever you're doing that's new right now, it's definitely more aligned with who you are meant to become. And again, it did say that the journey is going to take however long it takes to get to where you need to go, and that you are on the right path and everything is as it's supposed to be. So let's see some more information about what people are saying about you. All right, so we have the Hermit. So it says, seek solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. Yeah, I can see that now with the first card. Samaritan, it says, refine your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Wait, yeah, refine your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Interesting. And we have Prince, romantic charm and potential for power. All right, cute. I actually want to look at the Samaritan, because I was like, that's like an interesting one, because it's like about helping those that people would prefer to ignore. It says closely related to the martyr. So Samaritan makes sacrifices for those they might be least inclined to serve. As in the gospel parable of the good Samaritan. I can't read, guys. It's Samaritan, not Samaritan, child. Samaritan. Look for a continuing pattern of going out your way to support others with no regard for whether they are family, strangers, or even enemies. So yeah, you're being seen as a really, really good person. This is also definitely like a military power. Like, let's say you literally joined the military in your country, or the army, or you've been in the military, you're a veteran. Shout out the veterans. What's it called? Like, it's something like that. Like, you've either, you could be something like that. Again, like helping people in need. What's it called? And that could be like a journey, because you know what I was just saying, I was like, you're embarking on a new journey. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like the military, but that is a great analogy for you, Pile 3. That's a great analogy of like, you are embarking on something that people would honestly rather not do, to help other people. And the Hermit is giving me, you could have been secluding yourself, pulling away from other people, pulling away from situations, because you're studying. If it's school, you're studying, you're focusing. If you are joining the military, you're preparing to go to the military. If it's not something like that, you are kind of really focused on self right now. People are talking about how you are very focused on self, and it's because you have a greater purpose, a greater calling. Something that's, you have a greater calling right now that you're going towards, a greater purpose that you're going towards. So people are definitely talking about how you are kind of secluding yourself, you are preparing yourself. And with the Prince, a very different message, just different message of what people are saying about you. They definitely know you are on this hunt for love. I think that's what I heard when I was shuffling. Was it the hunt? Oh, I forget now, but it was like the search for love, the hunt for love. You are definitely being seen as someone who is definitely open to love. So you're probably single with the Hermit. So you could be single. A lot of you guys for Power 3s could be single. If you're not, just that, like, if you're, honestly, this is mainly just measure for the single people, to be honest, because I'm not going to translate it for relationships, because it didn't feel like it. It feels like for the singles, you're definitely also being talked about. It's like, oh, like this person is single. They are open to love. They're looking for love. And you are being seen and talked about in a way of like, you are definitely a very, very good partner. You would be a good partner. You are a good potential partner. See, all right, let's get your tarot. That was like the fastest of the oracles, I think, for you guys. So if your pile's a little bit shorter, sorry. It's not because I don't love y'all. But anyways, we have the Hierophant. That was literally saying school. So yeah, you definitely could be going back to school with the Hierophant. we have the Hierophant. We have the Ace of Wands, creative passions. Yes. Three of Wands. This is nice. I like this pile 3. We have Three of Wands. Oh, not the Tower, but it's fine because we did say change. You're changing something. It's okay. It's okay. We have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Four of Wands. This is so sweet. A lot of red, a lot of fire signs here. That's Leo, Sag, and Aries. Leo, Sag, and Aries. And give me a minute. I have to go to the bathroom. My bad, y'all. Duty calls. Aren't I funny? I thought of that. Anyways, let's get back to your reading. So we have the Hierophant and the Tower. So what are people saying about you? The Tower. The Tower is a change. And these are both actually major arcanas. So the Tower is a change. The Tower is like a breaking down of what no longer serves you. So you can go. So you could have actually went through a Tower moment. Sorry, when I channel, you can feel messages, and I don't feel anything right now. So I'm a little bit weirded out. So give me a minute. Lock back in. Collect a pile 3s. Okay. So I think you could have went through a Tower moment. You could have went through a Tower moment. You could have just had a lot of just really drastic changes in your life recently, which is possibly either called you to go back to spirituality with the Hierophant. So you could have even kind of been forced maybe to go inwards, kind of being forced to go into a hermit mode, being forced to kind of reevaluate your life, being forced to kind of search for not a higher calling, but honestly, yeah, a higher calling, that, because that's what I was talking about. Because even when there's what's it called, the hard times, or what did it say, the wind was blowing against you or something, basically when there bumps in the road, the Tower moment, there's bumps in the road, it was basically just to redirect you, realign you. I'm hearing just realign you with what you're meant to do. And with the Hierophant over, I'm trying to get to the Hierophant, y'all. So with the Hierophant over it, it talks about teacher, tradition. It literally says you may deepen your spirituality by studying healing modalities or courses in the foundations of spiritual knowledge. You may even teach healing arts or offer spiritual guidance. Be open to a teacher entering your life. They may come in many forms. Yes, you definitely can have a mentor soon, I will say. People are talking about possibly the Tower moment that you went through that's really causing you to go more in, deepen your spiritual practice, things like that. But also you could be looking for a mentor. I also heard that how it's you're looking for love, but you also could be looking for a mentor, looking for a teacher, and that could come in soon as well. What else are people saying? We have the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So yes, you're definitely being seen as very, very, very career driven. I would say this feels like career driven. You're definitely being seen as a very, very career driven person. Either it could be creative career, it could be a traditional career, especially with the Hierophant, more traditional. Maybe that's what you're transitioning from. You're transitioning from, maybe I'm hearing the rock star lifestyle, the artist, the starring artist lifestyle, to a more traditional job. You're getting a real job type of energy. So people could be talking about how you're no longer just whimlessly going through life, Sagittarius me, but you're going to get a structured job, traditional values, very, 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 very that, you're transitioning from one to the other. People could be talking about that, but regardless, they're talking about how driven the ambition is crazy in this spread right now. People are definitely talking about how ambitious you are being, how much ambition you have within you, how much drive, how much creativity, how much passion, how much just go, I will succeed energy you have. Very, very youthful energy. That's why I was very, very, very youthful. You're ready to go. You're ready to fight. You're ready to jump into this thing. You know what I mean? And it's pushing forward. People are really talking about how you are really, really just moving forward, going. It's where you're going, and you're not going to stop until you get there, period. We have the Three of Wands, which can talk about travel, and the Four of Wands, which is celebration. So people could be talking about how you are either about to travel, you have been traveling. The Four of Wands is a celebration, it's a victory. So yeah, you're definitely being seen very celebratory. You could have went through something again, after this Tower moment, probably after this Tower moment, maybe you have now something to celebrate, something to be happy about. This could be the new job that you're getting. This could be the new job. This could be a new partner, again, with that love message. This could be just overall, just a new lease on life. I just heard you could just have a new lease on life, and you just feel like you graduated. Because the Four of Wands, because we're talking so much about school, the Four of Wands talk about graduation. So maybe you've graduated from I don't know, high school, and you're going to college, or you graduated from university and maybe you're going to masters, or masters into PhD. You know what I mean? Something about like you've reached the end of a cycle and you are ready to celebrate again. Oh, sorry. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, that's another fast-moving character. More wands. We have 2 wands. And the Nine of Cups. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. So we have the Knight of Swords, 2 of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. So the Knight of Swords is coming over that the Hierophant in the Tower. So coming over the Hierophant in the Tower. Yeah, because the Knight of Swords, because they can talk about like communication, enthusiasm. It's like very assertive, truth seeking. It says the Knight of Swords can represent a situation that has to be dealt with head on. Yeah. It says that confrontation cannot be avoided. Perhaps it's been asked you to be more assertive or to focus on your goals with all of your available energy. This card can point to a person. It says your intuition will guide you toward who or what this swiftly moving energy represents in your life. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Definitely, like again with that Tower moment, you could have went through some adversity, and I think people are talking about how you really either moved, you really fought through it, like you moved through it so quickly, and it could have become because of a mentor, because of help, but I think it just became because like the Tower moment, you really understood. I'm getting you like you just understood the purpose. I'm hearing you just understood the purpose of a Tower moment, and now you're ready to go. You're like, okay, thank you, and goodbye. Like you're ready to go. And people are just talking about how you really just moved through that Tower moment quickly and swiftly, and you took the knowledge, the lessons. You have the lessons from it. You didn't just go through it with like out learning anything, because the Hierophant's telling me that you did definitely take the lesson. The people are like talking about how you have matured because you've learned the lessons from just life experience, from just the experience, the human experience. The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is giving me because it can talk about planning for the future. Yes, okay, yeah, because the Two of Wands, because yes, the Ace of Wands, 2 Wands. Oh my god, you have Ace, 2 Wands, 3 Wands, and 4 Wands, and then Knight of Wands. That's crazy. But the Two of Wands can talk about planning, can also talk about travel, can talk about kind of choosing between 2 paths, making a decision. So I'm getting with this, people are just kind of saying, yeah, like you're just planning for the future right now. Right now, you're just being seen as a person who kind of, it feels like you've really grown up. In terms of ages wise, even if you're not this age, it feels like the age of a person who just graduated college. Was that like 22, 23, 24, 25, maybe? Yeah, like 23, 24, 22 to 25, like around that age. Even if you're not that age, it's like you're kind of, your energy is being seen around that age of like, okay, you finished one chapter, you've been successful, and you're really, really, really ambitiously, oh my gosh, ambitiously, you are just very motivated. Let me just say, you're just very motivated. You're just very motivated to continue on your path. Because yeah, what did your original card say? It says, yeah, there's no need to flap your wings and fight against the storm. Breathe deep instead and rise above. You were destined for this great journey. You are wiser than you know. Honored by scared side. Yeah, there's no hurry. There's no pressure. There's no wrong way to go. Yeah, and I think you have that inner knowing, because all these wands, the wands and the fire signs in general, talk about like passion. It's innate skill, innate wisdom, things that you don't need to study, you don't need to learn, you just got it and you go. So right now you're really being talked about in a way of like, you just kind of know where you're going and you're planning, and you have so much passion and ambition behind you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Because then we have the Nine of Cups, which is great over that 4 of Wands and 3 of Wands. So the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. It's one of the things, it's like, it's luck, it's lucky. People are talking about how you are either very lucky and you're just very much just on the right path, as your advice card said. Like, you just are on the right path. People are just talking about how you're on the right path. You have had a wish fulfillment, whatever, I guess, adversities you had went through before. Honestly, it feels like they're over. Obviously, take what resonates, but from this reading, pile 3s, the rest of the reading resonated. It feels like you are kind of finished with all of these adversities, finished with all these tower moments, finished with all these, I'm hearing like financial blocks. I'm hearing, financial blocks. You are really finished with a lot of the financial blocks you have, the love, romantic blocks that you have. And you're in a place of moving forward. Planning for your future with this Two of Wands, the Three of Wands, traveling, meeting up with friends, doing things that really make you happy, bring you light, give you joy, It's like you're going to really start to focus on, and people are really talking about how you are focusing on your own happiness. What makes you happy? What makes you want to get up in the morning? And the Hermit, and what's it called? And the Hermit with the Samaritan, it's kind of like, yes, you're in a hermit mode because you're studying, but it's definitely for the greater good. It's like whatever you're doing is for the greater good. So I think that's why it's so kind of positive from other people, what they're saying. They're just like, wow, this person is, what's it called? It's so lucky, they have everything they want, I'm so happy for them. It feels like, it's like the people talking to me, it's like, wow, I'm so happy that they have their spark back. I'm so happy that they're starting to be more successful. I'm so happy that they got that new job, or they're finally in a relationship. I'm like, people are really like just proud of you. I think that's the energy. The people talking about you are just very, very proud. So definitely could be family as well. Oh, not the Eight of Swords, but we have the Eight of Swords and we have the Two of Swords. Not the swords, but anyways, very proud of you. With the Eight of Swords and Two of Swords, the Eight of Swords can talk about like a mental entrapment. Two of Swords can talk about indecision. As I was saying, you have so much passion and drive to go for what you want. I will say, people are definitely talking about you could be maybe frozen in indecision. Is that the word? Maybe not frozen, but like it could be overwhelming. There you go. People are definitely talking about how all these good, positive things could be a little overwhelming to you. And maybe you know this. Maybe you know that these things are overwhelming to you. Just in the fact that, like, sometimes when we're so used to bad things, I think my mentor said this to me for tarot. It's like sometimes we're so used to bad things happening that, like, when nothing's happening or when good things happen, it feels wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when you're so used to just things not working out in your favor, or I dropped my mic. Sorry. Things not working out in your favor. You're so used to getting the short end of the stick. It's like when the universe actually starts to bless you, 9 of Cups, 4 of Wands, travel, you start to see beautiful things. It's like you can't even believe it. It's like your nervous system is not used to it. So people could also be talking about with this Eight of Swords and Two of Swords that, like, this success and stuff with that Hermit, that's maybe there's slightly there's a little worry here. It definitely feels like family, but there's a little worry here, or friends, if you're not super close to your family. But if the Hermit mode is a positive thing, again, like going in, seeking solitude for creativity, but there's a little scare here of the shadow attribute. It says withdrawals from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, not refusing to help, but just withdraw from society to fear or negative judgments from others. Like you're fearing, you're scared, maybe you are a little bit confused. I'm not necessarily if you are confused. This is just what people are saying. They're just slightly worried that, like, your Hermit mode, they're hoping that your Hermit mode is because you've had a lot of passion, you're just learning, you're just studying, you're just getting knowing your craft, learning yourself. But there is a little worry here that, like, this Hermit mode could be because that you are just you're scared, or you don't know, or you're just indecisive, you don't know where to go next. So possibly reach out to your friends or your family. Just let them know your plan. Let them know that you're not in an Eight of Swords or Two of Swords energy. Or if you are, this is a message of, like, just to ask for help. Again, don't worry about your age or how far you are, because the message here is, like, you are exactly where you need to be. You're going to keep pushing. You just need to have, again, what's the word? Courage? Yeah. Just to have the, hope. Yeah, like to have, like, the hope and the faith that, like, things are going to work out. And your last card being the Seven of Pentacles, patience. Yeah. So Seven of Pentacles and Judgment as the bottom deck. Okay. Cute. The word judge or judgment has come out in, like, every pile, like, just in one of the cards, like, or something. Like, the word judge and judgment has come out a lot. But anyways, so we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Judgment. Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is about the patience, but it's about having patience, is about what is the keywords for? I know patience is one of them, but what are the other keywords for Seven of Pentacles? Because as I was about to start channeling again, I think because I went to the bathroom and like messed up my connection. I don't know. Oh, growth. Yes, it's about growth and patience. This is you're so close to reaching your goal. Alas, it isn't time to celebrate quite yet. But when you pause and look at how much progress do you do with gratitude, you do it with gratitude instead of frustration. You're being asked to remember that the journey toward achievement is the adventure, not destination. How can you enjoy the work that you're doing even more? Trust that when the time is right, the fruits of your life will be perfectly ripe in celebration order. Yeah. So again, you've already had significant celebration. You with this Four of Wands and Nine of Cups, you've had to have like some type of, you've already had a celebration. But again, because you've had so much passion, you know where you're going in life. Possibly again, you've changed a course. So you know you're changing careers, you're changing something. To be patient, you know you can't be an expert right away. You can't get the boss job right away. You know you got to start somewhere. So I think it's like people are just saying like you have so much potential. People are talking about how you have a lot of potential and just to chill, chillax. You do have a lot of potential that you should not be in the Eight of Swords or Two of Swords energy. You could be, I think a lot of you guys are not, and the people just talking about you are a little bit worried that you could be because of all the success and everything. That you could be like imposter syndrome. They're a little bit worried if you're having imposter syndrome with that Eight of Swords and Two of Swords. But overall, I think it's very positive the way they're talking about you because it feels proud and it feels like they even see you going to higher heights. Like it's like the success doesn't stop here. Whatever you cultivate yourself doesn't stop here. It's going to continue to grow. But again, it comes with patience. And the Judgment talks about reflection, learning from the past. Yeah, that was the message of you've learned from whatever this tower moment was. You moved through it swiftly and quickly. I heard you moved through it swiftly and quickly, and now you have a new lease on life, a new passion for life. And the Judgment is because it talks about reflection, learning. I'm really getting that like you've already really digested and really infused. I don't know. How do I say that word? You really I'm trying to think of that. Like, how do I say the word? You've really like infused. That's not the right word. What is the word? Not infused. Like applied. You say you really applied the lessons to your life. Would you say that you've really applied the lessons and the stuff that you've learned to your life, and it's really worked out for you, and it's really worked out. I'm hearing it's really worked out, or if it hasn't, it will for sure. But because people are talking about you, I think that it already has worked out. I think that it already has worked out. All right. Yeah. All right. Cut up pile threes. I'm gonna stop it there. Have a blessed and beautiful Irish. Oh wait. Remember, guys, like the video, comment, and subscribe if resonated. Yeah. Have a blessed and beautiful high vibrational day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.